Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful members of the elect, the Bacharim, the house of David, that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these last times and to be the ruling governing body, the nation Yashala. So this video I'm gonna go into, I uploaded it on my TikTok. This is from Dabu77, which I couldn't find his video on YouTube. I don't know if he took it down or it got taken down, but good thing I uploaded it to my TikTok channel. And it says Dystopian, who Gates unveils plan for global digital ID, AI surveillance, and planetary jab tracking. All right, and this guy's he was at the forefront of the lockdown, the Crown Royal. All right, speaking in code, but the Crown Royal, and he suggested to have like a smart jail, basically like surveillance during the whole Crown Royal. You put like a sticker, or it has like a tracking device, and it tracks your biology. And this man, again, he had an interview, well, not an interview, but a talk. Like he was on a platform where it was like he openly talked to the audience, and he mentioned how they need to depopulate the earth by an inoculation. That was like a few years before 2020. Okay, and then he's owning dang near all the farmlands in America, and he suggests us to eat clone meat. He wants you to eat lab grown meat. Okay, so let's watch this video of what this demon Kill Gates has to spew.
This is Dabu7, and it looks like Gates is back with his minions, and they're pushing hard this time for this global AI-driven surveillance system that's going to track everybody and their jab status.
And again, the elites, part of their new world order will be their technology that they want to. I mean, it's already here, but ultimately implement, mandate soon, which is the chip. That's the biggest one. All right, Revelation 13, verse 16. That's the mark of the beast, the chip that has been prophesied. Okay, thousands of years ago by John the Revelator. Bill Gates is a puppet. He's working for the elites, and they're using him. And again, this man has been at the forefront of great events. Speaking on, in layman terms, tracking, depopulation. Okay. Now he's here again. Okay, so this thing is very close. All right, they want to track everything you're doing, and they have AI, and we live in such a advanced technological world now. It's easy to do that. Okay, and again, the ultimate goal is that chip, total control, total surveillance
via a global ID, digital ID. And they're rolling this out. They just posted this in a bulletin for the World Health Organization. And this is what they're calling for here. Of course, you've got Klaus Schwab and all the minions tied into this. This is backed by the Gates Foundation. And this dystopian.
Klaus Schwab was, the head of the World Economic Forum. Okay, which that's like the globalist group pushing this new world order.
The proposal raises far more than privacy and autonomy concerns. It establishes the architecture for government overreach, for cross-domain profiling, for AI-driven behavioral targeting, conditional access to services, and a global surveillance grid tracking system on every individual on the planet.
Yeah, and you won't live within their borders, within their society, unless you take that chip, okay? And it's going to be in gradual form. All right, digital ID, digital currency on your phones, and that's being tracked but they want to put that tracking device within you, all right? And everything will be stored on that chip. The money, all right? Digital ID, because if you go into Revelation 13, verse 16, I'll just read it. But the root words, again, in the Greek is charagma, charax, and graphos, okay? Charagma, the chip. Charax, the palisade, the needle. Graphos, meaning writing, database, information, all stored on that chip. Revelation 13, verse 16. And it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, everyone, that's everyone, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, so you won't be able to buy, to sell, unless you have that mark. You won't be able to function in their new society that they want to roll out. So let's continue.
Planet. It's unprecedented. It also, by their own admission here, it proposes that it integrates personal identifiable information and socioeconomic data, such as your household income, ethnicity, and religion. All this biometric data, it deploys artificial intelligence for identifying and targeting the unreached and to combat misinformation. Then it enables the governments to use jab records as a prerequisite for education, travel, and anything else they so choose. In the mix of all this, huge red alerts, what they're pushing out. The frameworks are already getting rolled out in other countries. The United States is always a bit of a different animal.
Yeah, you won't be able to travel, okay, unless you're hooked into the system. But they'll see all your traveling. All right. This is the world that they want to implement.
And we'll see how they approach things here.
And remember 9/11. That was at the start of like the Patriot Act. So this has been going into effect as surveillance. All right, but now we're that much closer to the end, and don't be surprised if a Black Swan event, a big false flag event takes place, for them to further introduce this, to further really to implement it, because they're already introducing it, but they need some type of event so they can just totally set it in motion.
Florida came out and said that they're not going to have one in their state. So every state's different within the United States unless Trump tries to come out, executive order something. But to establish this framework, they define this program as nothing less than restructuring of how governments govern. So they openly state that the purpose here is the transformation that can accelerate progress toward the immunization agenda 2030.
Yep. And they want this whole thing to be done by 2030. It could be sooner, but that's like their goal.
Which aims to ensure that everyone, everywhere, at every age, gets the full benefits from jabs. This is here. They're rolling it out wherever they can immediately. It's already being done. And this bulletin shows the breadth of it, the scope of it here. They're looking to track everyone globally through this system. Join me for the live streams where I've got more time to break this down and talk about this. Monday, Wednesday, Friday night.
All right, and this is Psalm 64 in the NLT, by the way. All right, but it says, hide me from the plots of this evil mob. Let me just get the word plot real quick. Okay, a plot. A plan made in secret by a group of people to do something illegal or harmful. Conspiracy, right? And these elites, they meet at the World Economic Forums, and there's probably deeper meetings. Deeper, more secretive meetings we don't see with the elites, and they devise wicked things, wicked plans. The ultimate is to take control of the world by wanting to chip everyone. Okay, depopulation as well. You know, they want a new system with a lot of people unalived, and then the remaining chipped. So it won't be like it won't be that much bigger of a rebellion. Okay, and I think they can start over with that new world, but it won't happen because of prophecy. Job 5 verse 12. Yahweh Shai is going to disappoint this man's devices, his to disappoint his plans and set up his kingdom. All right, so let's go back to that 60 Psalm 64 in the NLT, and it says, "Hide me from the plots of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers." Right, you saw the elites, particularly the Amalekites, Rockefellers, Rothschilds. They're definitely wrongdoers. They sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. Right, and then their pseudoscience. You can't believe this devil. He's lied about everything. You have to learn his story, history in middle school, and he just totally dilutes the truth of the world. The empire's civilization started with the Greek Empire. Like, come on. And so many other things we can go into. All right, the Earth is millions of years old. Changing people's nationalities. You're black. You're Native American. When really we're actually the children of the Most High, the Israelites. Okay. They shoot from ambush at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fearlessly. They encourage each other to do evil and plan. See, again, the focus word is plan. All right, plots. Okay, because that's what they're doing. They're planning this, and they've been planning this, and now they're about to go into motion. Because ultimately, the Most High is going to allow them. He controls everything. He orchestrates all. But he won't let them get very far. They won't succeed. They'll only go so far. Okay, and it says, and plan how to set their traps in secret. Okay, and they do that. It can be like a crazy event, and they definitely do it around like bread and circus. We tend to notice like a world game event, something. All right, hey, FIFA's next year. No, not FIFA, but I believe is it the World Cup or the Olympics? No, because we just had the Olympics. Yeah, we just had the Olympics. So I think it's the World Cup. Yeah, so FIFA, but who knows what they might do under the tables. But even in America, they pass executive orders when something like is going on, all right, during the holidays, when everyone is all, lackadaisical. It says, who will ever notice me, they ask. As they plan their crimes, yeah, because that's what they're doing. Actually, it says as they plot their crimes, right? They're plotting. They say we have devised the perfect plan, but it's evil. It's an evil plan, but that's what the elites want to do. These are sick, sadistic individuals, a nation of people. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning, but the Most High Himself will shoot them with His arrows, settling, striking them down. All right. And the Most High, Yahweh is going to send His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, to return. And in the midst of that, ICBM missiles are going to be shot off, annihilate America, while the elect is going to get beamed up throughout the four corners of the earth. The elect, the 144,000, along with the 1/3, the women, children, and sincere believers, men as well. So, yeah, but they're getting closer, man. They're getting closer. Beautiful times we're living in, scary times, but hey, it has to happen. In order for the kingdom to come, we got to go through this. All right, there's literally no other way. It's prophecy. So giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash, and double honor to my apostles, a green millstone. Shalom.